Well, folks, I'd like to welcome you tonight to our Vibe call. As you know, we're offering an opportunity for you to take a look at our company, our new platform that is going to be launching in March, and we are exceptionally excited, let's just say it that way, about what we're going to talk to you about tonight. Listen, we're going to be brief, but what I want to go over is who we are, what we do, and what is in it for you. Let me just say it that way, because this is an opportunity that as you begin to look at Vibe in itself, I believe that you are going to see what all the other folks that are just here to hear how we present this tonight. And what we're going to do, guys, we're going to have an opportunity for drivers only. We're going to present this just for you and for you as you begin to see what we do as a company. We're going to present this to you so that you can bring your driver friends as well as your friends. So as you see this unfold, you'll understand more as I begin to tell you about this, how this company is planning on disrupting this market, we believe. You guys are obviously in an emerging market that's been growing like mad over the last 7 years. We'll talk a little bit about that and what the projections are for that. But I just want to get started. I want to say thank you for joining us. We have some very great businessmen that have started this company, and we also have some very astute businessmen that are on this call with us tonight. And Sky, Brett, go ahead and unmute Sky. I want Sky to jump in here with us as well some as we go.
I believe I am unmuted.
Hey, Sky, how you doing, my friend?
Great, Barry. Nice to be here.
Well, thank you. This is Sky Canyon. It's a good friend of mine. Sky's a Colorado guy, Rocky Mountain High out there. And let me get started so that we can be honoring of your time. So what is Vibe Direct? As you see there, what's your Vibe? The name of our company is Vibe, and you're going to hear us talk about Vibe Rides, and the parent company is going to be Vibe Direct. So Vibe Rides is what we're going to focus on tonight because this is for your particular industry. This concept is ride sharing has been around for 7 years, and we believe that we are about to embark on a game changer in this industry with the ability for drivers to engage Vibe along with Uber and Lyft and not change what you're doing now, just add to it, guys. And we think that as you begin to look at this opportunity and begin to see how we're going to try to disrupt this market with what we're doing, or how we're going to disrupt this market with what we're doing, we believe you're going to be excited about it. Vibe Ride is a company that's going to have a ride share platform with an app, a free downloaded app for the user, and a driver side of that app, a driver application for that app. We'll talk a little bit about that. There's no cost for the user on that side, no cost for the drivers to be a driver. So I want you to hear that clearly. There's no cost for you to be a driver for Vibe. You can open 3 apps now once we launch, not now, we're not launched yet, but now you have the opportunity, and we'll have the opportunity as we begin to emerge in the market to open a 3rd app and be able to accept rides from Vibe clients as well. I know I'll be one of them, and there'll be a lot in the Dallas area and a lot across the country. So what if I could tell you that you could also do that and earn your normal plus? We were on a call today with one of the guys from the corporate team, and the question was asked to him, are you going to pay the drivers the normal rates that they would get from Uber or Lyft and be competitive? Or are you going to try to pay them a little bit more? And obviously his answer is, our philosophy is to try to pay the drivers a little bit more on the initial income that they make from a ride. I don't know the details on that. We'll wait and see how that comes out. But what I am going to talk to you about is how you can not only make that money, but be able to generate commission on every ride on top of your ride that you do. And not only that, but we're going to talk to you about how you can share this with other drivers and other riders so that they will generate you commissions for you if you choose to engage this, as well as them if they choose to engage it over and over and over. Let me talk about the ride-hailing industry. The ride-hailing industry is expected to grow 8-fold to $285 billion by 2030. Guys, that's amazing. I don't know that I have seen many industries that have that type of projected growth over the next 10 to 12 years. That's a phenomenal rate of growth. There is plenty of room for not only growth with the companies that are in the market, but with companies that emerge into the market with different concepts. Sky, I would like for you to jump in here with me and talk about this for just a minute, because this is something that I think it intrigues both of us. But tell them about the growth in the market? Talk about this slide for just a minute.
Absolutely. Well, yeah, it was an article actually from last year in MarketWatch talking about the market increase. So some people go, oh, well, you guys are competing against Uber, you're competing against Lyft, even though Lyft is a minor portion of the industry, although they're growing, certainly not as big internationally. But, you know, it's not just that. It's the market's going to grow massively. So we're talking about new market share. We're talking about reaching people that may not even be involved in this yet. So certainly anybody that's an Uber driver, and this is what we've seen consistently over the last several weeks, every time any one of us talks to an Uber driver and we show them what this is, the answer has always been sign me up ASAP. Because look, if you're driving Uber, you're entrepreneurial. You're looking to make more money. You might be part-time, you might be full-time, anywhere in between. You know, if you could make 20, 40, 100%, and I'm not joking when I say that, more doing the same stuff you're doing, plus sharing it, I mean, really, that's just kind of a no-brainer. We just think this is the huge game changer. This is a company with a bunch of products, you know, and services, but this is the big, big deal. And it's not just us saying this. This is coming from outside, third-party major players that are looking at this and going, wow, you guys are on to something big. So imagine somebody that you don't know takes a ride share in some city in the world that you've never heard of, and you actually get paid. It's that simple. You guys are you're in the driver's seat literally, because you turn on other drivers. Now you're making on all the stuff they do. You turn on the customers every time they go, and then they turn on another driver. Boom, you're earning on all of that. It's huge.
That's exactly right, Sky, and thank you for that. The what-if question on how do I make more money with this, I'm going to answer that for you in just a moment. Now, to give you specifics, that's obviously not information that we have yet, but we have some pretty nice general concepts that I'm going to show you that all of us are already engaging in with this company, right? That's why you're hearing from us now as drivers, because now we're at a point of launch. We're in a pre-launch stage of this, and what we are wanting to do is share this concept with you and give you the opportunity to be an early adopter in this business and an early adopter in this disruptive concept in your market, what you know and what you do every day and the people that you connect with every day. Not only the drivers, but the riders, okay? Let me just walk through this a little bit. Just a little bit about Vibe. It's headquartered here in Dallas, Texas. In Irving, actually, I was at the headquarters yesterday with one of the other rep leaders, and we were meeting with the ownership. Guys, I'm telling you, these guys are awesome people. They have a lot of great things, bigger than even what we're talking about tonight, that we're not going to try to go over, but let's just keep it about Vibe Rides right now. But these guys have some very, very huge ideas on how to not only disrupt the rideshare market, but other markets as well. They have years of experience in the model of this business we're going to tell you about tonight. Back in the 90s, they built a similar type structure, not rideshare, obviously it wasn't around, but a similar type structure that was turned into a multi-billion-dollar industry. So these gentlemen know what they're doing. They're building and owning their own technology. They're debt-free. And like I said, I was there yesterday. If you live in Dallas or you're coming to Dallas, you call me or call one of, whoever invited you to the call. We'll set you up to go over there and see the staff at Vibe, and they'd love to meet you. So what is Vibe? Vibe is a revolutionary rideshare platform. Vibe Ride is what is called. You won't see it in the App Store yet. Obviously, we will not hit it until it's ready to launch, because we're all out there talking about it. It's a revolutionary rideshare platform, okay? So it's going to be Uber or Lyft Plus. The concept of how this business grows is virally through a peer-to-peer distribution model. And literally, what does that mean? That means, well, for instance, Brett is my partner. Brett tells me about this business, and then I go tell Sky about this business, and Sky goes and tells John about this business. And guys, that's how this distribution model will work. Well, inside that model for you as a driver, think about it this way. What if you could tell drivers about Vibe and not only earn extra commission on the drivers that you make, but also earn a little piece off of every drive that they ever make? Or what if you could tell a rider that gets in your car, you've got them captive, right? How easy would it be for you pick up a ride from any company and sit there and go, hey, have you ever used the Vibe app? Nope. Well, it's free download. Go to your app store while we're riding down the road and download it, right? And if you are a Vibe rep, not a driver, if you're a Vibe rep, you will have a rep key, okay? There's a difference. You can be a driver, or you can be a rep, or you could be both, and I'll explain that in a minute a little bit. Basically, what it boils down to is you would be able to share and put your rep key in that person's app that they just downloaded, and from that day forward, like Sky said, they go to New York, they get in a ride, they use Vibe, you get a small portion of that. Every ride they ever take. They go to Florida, same thing. You kind of get it, and you'll see how it works here even better here in just a second. So drivers are definitely paid the regular rates plus per ride, and also are paid royalty commissions. Not only would you be paid a royalty commission on the drivers or other people that engage this as reps, but you would also be paid a royalty commission on riders or drivers that you introduce it to that did not become reps, or someone on your team that I'm going to show you how to build here in just a second will be introduced to this. You're starting to see how this is going to work. And then, like I said, you refer riders and you refer drivers to that. Brett, anything to add to that you can think of on that slide right there?
No, I think you covered it.
Sky?
The one thing I would add, Barry, is that, remember, it's not just the people that you directly refer. So if you're a driver and you refer other driver friends, you're going to make on all the rides that they do. But when they refer other driver friends, you're going to make on those rides. When those friends refer other driver friends, you're going to make on those rides. There's 7 levels of payments.
The app is going to have a rider application for a free download from the App Store. So basically, just the same as any other rideshare app, this will be a free download for the rider, and that application, that app, will actually have a slot for a rep key to go into. Now, if there's one in there, there's going to be commissions paid out. If there's not one in there, guess what? The company's going to keep that. So it'll work the same way from the driver application. Now, this doesn't mean an application to be a driver. This means the driver application. So basically, if you're a rep, not just a driver, if you're a rep as a driver, you are engaging into our, what we might call a compensation plan, above and beyond getting paid as a driver. Now you're involved in a compensation plan that pays you extra royalties in addition to being a driver and making your driver pay and tips. You still get those as a driver. This will now pay you as you begin to share this with other drivers. And like Sky was saying, other riders all the way down the line, and I'll show you how you can make that to 7 generations or levels, what we're going to call them, of people that you might share this with. The power and the viral nature of this, when people begin to see what they can do with this and how they can add to their incomes, I believe it's going to disrupt the whole rideshare market. And even if we just get a small portion, as we always say, as it grows, and never take any from the big players out there, it's still going to be huge, right? So let me tell you how this works. There's 3 things that we ask you to do, very simply. Share it with other drivers. I mean, you've heard these 3 things already. You share it with riders, and then you invite other drivers to join Vibe, not only to drive, but as rep. There's no cost for them to be a driver. There is a small cost to be a rep. But what happens when you do engage as a rep, it's a one-time fee. It's not an ongoing fee. It's a one-time fee. And basically what it boils down to is it allows you to engage in the compensation that I'm about to show you on top of being a regular driver. So you go out and you share it with a driver. Then you go out and you share it with another driver. And let's just say that you happen to know 5 drivers, and I'm going to ask you a question. Do you know 5 drivers that would potentially be interested in Vibe with the opportunity to make a lot more money than what they make than just on their current fares? I think you probably do. As a matter of fact, if you know 20, you can invite 20. If you know 50, you can invite 50. If you know 500, you can invite 500. And you can make this line on your, what we will call your first level, right, directly to you. You can make this as wide and as broad as you want to, but I'm only giving you an example, so I'm going to show you 5. So you go out and you invite 5 people. What starts happening? Immediately, you get extra commissions on every fare, every ride that they take, and they get paid for. You get a small portion of that. And then guess what? If those people duplicate your efforts, and that's just as simply as I can say it, they can have unlimited numbers here too, guys. But I'm just wanting to show you, I'm going to show you a simple form here to put some numbers in your head that I think are going to blow you away. Let's say each one of them go out and get 5, right? So now you're looking at 5 on this level, 25 on this level. It'll never grow perfectly. It's not the way it'll do. But you're also going to have these same commissions going up to the people you invited from the second level, we'll call it. They'll get commissions on the level here, and then you will get commissions as well. And that's going to go 7 levels back up if you're eligible. And there's some eligibility requirements. I'm not going to get into all that. They're minute compared to what's going on here, I promise you. So as this becomes more viral down below you, and I like to call it, the exponential growth of this kicks in. You're not really in control of what's going on your team at this point. It's just growing virally without you actually doing anything, right? Now, we're going to support you. I want to send this message to you loud and clear. The guys that invited you to this call, everybody on here, we are working this full and hard, and we'll help you any way we can. We're not going to put you out there and leave you on your own. This company has a fantastic support structure already. They're very professional. They know what they're doing. We're going to be there for you as well. That's our commitment to you. So as this begins to grow virally, we will help you on how to go about continuing and doing this correctly. And really, guys, it's really pretty simple. I've already explained it to you. You just start telling people about it. The question I usually ask people is, what if? What would you say if you could simply make more money by inviting other drivers and riders to participate in Vibe? And as they do, you begin to make a piece of everything they ever do. And what I'm showing you right here is simply drivers. Now I'm going to give you an example of this. So, again, I'll ask you that what if question. What if you as a driver invite your 5 friends and they invite 5 drivers? That's 25. And they invite 5 drivers. 5 times 25 is 125. I can just walk straight down 7 levels, and that's what that turns into. Well, I'm not going to put dollars to that because I don't know the dollars. My understanding is the average ride is somewhere around the $20 range. You just got 1% of that. I don't know that that's right. I'm not trying to put figures on it. I'm just saying to you that you did that every time any of these number of drivers accepted and took a fare to their destination and got paid. Every single time. Right? You see that potential in that. Now let me grow that a little bit larger for you. Remember I told you could share it with customers, with riders. So let's just use this example. Now we used 5 drivers. Let's just say you share this with 10 riders as well. So this is you sharing it with 10 riders. These are the numbers. So now you get a piece of that, and 7 people above you get a piece of that are eligible to get it. These 5 invite 10. That's 50 riders. They told them to put their rep key in their app when they told them to download it. Now they're getting commissions every time this happens. You starting to get the picture? Not only are you getting on these drivers when they take a fare and complete that drive or ride, but guess what? All these users that downloaded the app for free and simply started using Vibe, these guys are not getting involved as rep. They can. But we're not talking about that here. We're talking about them simply being customers, and these 5 folks simply told them about it, and they put their rep key in there, and now guess what? Commissions are flying back up through this system. And look, these 25 get 10, that's 250. You kind of get the message. The numbers get kind of silly, and I don't want to get lost in all that, but I'm just telling you the potential for you as an early adopter today to share this with your friends. Not only your driver friends, but your other friends. I'm not a driver, right? To be able to engage in this as an early adopter is humongous. Any comments, Sky or Brett?
Well, I mean, obviously, we know that, numbers don't happen in a nice, neat formula like that. But I think what's more important is the realization, Barry, what you said about how it can go viral and people start telling people about it. And at a certain point, there's a whole lot of people that you're actually getting paid on. You have no idea who they are. You don't even know where they are.
Right. I was talking to a gentleman, and it's an Uber driver in Chicago last week, and I asked him about how many rides he does a day. He's full-time Uber, and he said, I do about 20 rides a day. And I said, imagine going out and I asked him, I said, do you have 10 other buddies of yours that drive too? And he was like, yes. I said, imagine being paid on 220 rides a day instead of just 200, just your 20 rides. Then what if you use this table that we're looking at right now? I mean, it becomes mind-boggling, what the potential is.
It really does. We're not representing any limitation on numbers, but we're also not representing that this would happen. What we're trying to show you is just an example of a progression on how this can go viral. I think you kind of get it. So we keep saying 7 levels. Let me just help you just a little bit more without that. Actually, it pays 8, but we're going to say it pays every ride. Royalty is paid on every ride for drivers and riders that have a rep key in their app, right? In your team, up to 7 levels. And I say 8, so here's what that means. You are a level. So these customers out here are actually paying you first and then go back up 7 more levels. So that's the 8, right? So anybody or any rider that has your rep key, you get a little portion of it. And then the company begins to pay back up those 7 levels to whoever is in above them who might be eligible, right? And most people will be, I'm just saying. I have to say that just for reasons to make it fair, right? So those 5 that you invited are on your first level. The 5 that each one of those 5 invited to make the 25 or the second level, you get it. I mean, it's pretty simple stuff when you get right down to it. That right there is how the 7 levels are made up. And I say that for the last because I really want you to get, we didn't just make this up to show you big numbers. This is just 7 levels. I could have made this 3. I could have made this 5. I could have made any number. We can do this in any way, shape, or fashion. It's just meant to show you how this can go viral. Simple as that, like Scott said.
Well, yeah, I mean, one of the things, are there going to, people always ask, will there be enough drivers in enough places when people start to request rides? And while we're not authorized to go into some details on this that we know about yet, coming very soon, what we can tell you is absolutely these rides will be 100% covered. So I'll let you use your imagination to think about how that might occur. But suffice to say, yes, so this is going to be up and running full on when it kicks in.
Now, as you can tell, look, we're not going to take you through the whole company of Vibe Direct. We have other products. We have other services. We're talking about what's coming. If you're interested in doing, as a driver, obviously if you're already driving for Uber or Lyft, you're probably 99% chance you're going to get picked up here, So, and you're going to get approved. If you're wanting to become a rep, that's what we can help you with. You get back in contact with your person. That's what we want to answer the questions about. If you have a question about something we said, get back with who invited you tonight. We appreciate it. You guys have an awesome, awesome week, rest of the week, and an awesome weekend, and we hope to hear from you very soon. And we will let you know when we have the next driver call coming up, and it will probably be very soon. We will put that information out to you, and whoever invited you will let you know. So try to bring at least 3 or 4 people with you when you come next time, like Stephen did, because the early adopters are going to get the prize, right? The golden egg at the end of it. Have a great evening. God bless. Take care. Thanks for your participation.
Great work there, Barry. Good work. Good presentation.
Thank you, Scott. Appreciate it. Thank you, brother.